In this volcanic lake, I'm searching for a strange little fish that technically shouldn't be there. Let me explain. Sardines typically live in the sea, and if you put them in a pond or a lake, they won't survive. But not this one. Of all 27 Sardinella species, only one of them live in a completely freshwater environment.
Doon lang siya nakikita sa buong mundo, ang liit lang nung kanyang area.
This is very, very important. My own welfare and life depends on that volcano.
You think po it's okay to eat tawilis kahit na endangered sila?
I want to know how this happened and see if I can document this tiny fish up close in this mysterious lake. To investigate this mysterious species, I went to Mataas na Kahoy, Batangas. It's in the eastern side of the lake in a place called Capusod, a haven brought to life by two amazing Filipinos.
We stumbled on this property. We weren't really looking to buy here, but nagkaroon kami ng opportunity, and it was like a gift from heaven, no? And we ended up with this, sublime spot, no? And our attitude here is, number one, we need to use it properly. We need to live here in an ecological way, in an ethical way, and we have to set a good example.
Howie Severino is one of the most legendary journalists and documentarists in the country. And if there's anyone who knows a thing or two about this lake, that's gotta be him.
My own welfare and life depends on that volcano. Diba? That volcano has given life to so much around here in terms of fertilizing the soil, renewing the land and all of that, but it can also kill us. It can also destroy us. So we're here with our eyes wide open. We pay attention to it. We have to know a lot about it.
Here in Capusod, they serve one of the best fried tawilis, a staple dish typically served with bulalo in Tagaytay.
Mahirap. Gawa na sobrang init sa dagat. Pag ikaw ay hanggang hapong naandun ay talagang halos masunog ang balat mo doon.
Kainso is a fish dealer who supplies fresh tawilis here at Capusod. Karaniwan ang tawag lang dito po ay dagat, no?
Dagat. Oo, dagat yan. Kung ang lawa ng Taal.
Bigay namin sa maglalako, yung binibenta nila, 100. Pagka nire-retail namin, 130, 140.
According to the National Fisheries Research and Development Institute or NFRDI, Taal Lake is home to many high-value food fish like bangus, tilapia, but more than half of the fishing economy here revolves around tawilis, supporting thousands of fisherfolk and traders with an average harvest of around 2,300 metric tons a year.
Negotiation na, last tuwing katapusan na lang titigil na yan. Ang umpisa na ulit niya sa May 1, 2 buwan tigil.
So kapag close season, apektado rin po yung hanap buhay?
Ay, pakalaking apektado.
Kasi if we do not manage it, baka ma-extinct na siya, no? And during that time, merong assessment ang IUCN na assess siya as endangered species, ang Sardinella tawilis. Kasi doon lang siya nakikita yung area of occupancy sa buong mundo. Ang liit lang nung kanyang area na kung saan natin nakikita ang tawilis.
So to know more about this mysterious fish, I went to one of the leading experts who has done extensive research on this fish.
Kumbaga nag-zero in na ako sa tawilis. Inaral ko talaga yung kanyang biology, feeding habits, spawning season, tsaka yung kanyang yung larvae, kung saan sila nakikita sa lakes.
You think po it's okay to eat tawilis kahit na endangered sila?
I think it's okay at this time. We just have to observe yung management measures para hindi siya maging extinct talaga.
So this show is about documenting animals up close, and tomorrow we'll attempt to find them here at the lake. Let's see if may makikita tayong tawilis. It's a beautiful day here in Taal Lake. I've never really seen anyone free dive here, probably because of how murky it is and how much algae there is. And it honestly freaks me out to swim in these waters, especially after reading about Thomas Hargrove's encounter with wild venomous sea snakes when he explored this underworld. But let's see what we'll find.
Ang spawning season pala ng Tawilis is during March and April because we have a long time series data that shows na maraming gravid female or maraming buntis na Tawilis ay nakikita natin during March and April.
Before swimming in Taal Lake, I actually went to the Freshwater Fisheries Research and Development Center, where they did most of the research on Tawilis.
Kasi ang breeding kasi it takes time din eh, lalo na kung wild talaga siya.
To save the species, they actually tried to domesticate and breed them here in this facility.
Hindi pa namin nakukuha yung technique na mabreed talaga siya in captivity. Sinubukan na namin noon, pero meron expert na nagsabi sa akin na bakit natin i-breed where what we can do first is to conserve it in the lake. Kung mabreed namin, mapadami namin yan, saan namin ilalagay? Back to the lake, di ba? Back to the lake. And the existing practices are still there. So why not concentrate on how to conserve Tawilis in the lake and how to explain to the managers, the fisher folk, how they can help in conserving the Tawilis, di ba?
Snorkeling for the first few minutes, I barely saw anything, far from what I expected it to be.
Tuloy-tuloy yung pollution dito, hindi naman nasusugpo. May mga fish pen sa kabila. Maraming mga tinatawag na invasive species na bukod sa nagiging predator ng mga mas maliliit na isda, ginagamit nila yung oxygen sa environment, sa tubig. So, medyo bumibigat yung burden sa carrying capacity ng lake. It's considered endangered. It's considered endangered. That's why there's going to be a closed season in March.
Madami naman eh. Ewan ko lang ba kung bakit nalingilan nga ng mga yung mag-close season. Dahil kung tuloy-tuloy din ang dami ng huli eh. Hindi nawawala.
Bigyan natin siya ng time para makapanganak sila, dumami sila. At yung mahuli natin, yung mga malalaki ng Tawilis na nakapag-reproduce na.
Pero sobrang daming tawilis around there. Wow.
Luckily, after a few more moments of searching, the lake finally looked more alive. And just like that, I think we have found the fish that we are searching for.
So, kahit siya endangered, if we continue that kind of management measures, hindi tayo matatakot na na siya ay mawawala. Perhaps with that kind of intervention ng government together with the local communities, that the fisher folk, I am positive na it will be delisted sa endangered status eh.
Kuya Warren, may tanong ako. Tama ba na ito'y yung Tawilis?
Hindi po siya Tawilis sir.
Hindi.
Hindi po sir. Para pong lahukan po siya ng mga isda po natin dyan po sa lawa. Meron po dyan ayungin po, tsaka po yung tinatawag po nilang tilapia po na kulay dilaw, at muang sir. Yun po yung sir.
Hindi yan Tawilis. So kung gusto kong hanapin yung Tawilis, paano ko siya mahanap?
Kailangan niyo po sir pumalaot.
Lumaot.
Opo sir.
So kailangan ko pumunta dun sa mga mangingisda.
Opo sir. Kasi po ang Tawilis po sir, hindi niyo po mabibidyohan po ng ganyan sir. May lap yun sa tao sir.
Gets. Thank you, sir.
Now, I need to get up close, but I also need to find answers. how do the most important fish in Taal Lake survive these conditions and thrive in a freshwater lake. I was lucky enough to meet Ma'am Lita and Sir Juan. To this day, they often go to the middle of the crater lake for Taal's precious Tawilis. From Tagaytay, this lake does look like a lake, but here, I understood why locals would call it Dagat, or the sea.
Paano nagkaroon ng Sardinella sa ganitong klaseng body of water?
Okay. Yes, we know na ang lake ay na-form through several volcanic eruptions. Before, wala talagang lake. So, ang nandyan lang is the sea, the Balayan Bay. And with several volcanic eruptions, doon na-form ang isang Taal Lake.
It's been a widely accepted theory that this used to be a huge super volcano that erupted into what is now the Taal Lake. And before going fishing, I actually went to an interesting part of the lake.
The answer to many of Taal's mysteries lie here, an outlet connecting Taal Lake to Pansipit River, flowing all the way to the sea at Balayan Bay. So this is Balayan Bay. This is where Taal Lake is connected through the Pansipit River. So you can see that there's a very small opening right there where the water is going and mixing to the marine water.
Since time immemorial ay kadugtong niya yung alat, no? Malawak na karagatan. So labas-pasok dito yung mga marine species. It was a saltwater lagoon, no? Pati mga barko nakakapasok dito. So it was a saltwater environment until 1754. The volcano erupted for about 6 months. And then nabago yung landscape. So yung opening to the sea closed.
Can you believe that this small river used to be an opening for big fish like bull sharks to travel to what is now Taal Lake?
And natrap sa loob yung mga iba't ibang marine species. Kasama na yung saltwater sardine, the marine snakes, pati pating meron dito dati. At iba pang hayop. No? Yung iba extinct na. Pero natira yung Tawilis and hopefully it will not go extinct. So this lake is a fairly new environment. The Tawilis is a fairly new fish, diba? And we don't know how long it will last. I feel blessed to be a witness to a planet that is so glorious, but also threatened and precarious. And I feel so privileged to be a Filipino because we have such a unique environment, diba? We have a strategic location in the world. We've got unique environmental assets. We have unique natural features. We have fascinating cultures that emanated from this land and sea. So I feel really motivated to do what I can to be of service, basically, whatever that requires. No?
Kaya nga ako yung namakyan ng Tawilis, tsaka na binuhay ko ang aking pamilya sa legal na pamaraan. Marangal sa marangal ng trabaho, binuhay ko siya. Kuha ng aking mga anak, ayaw kong pakainin din ng galing sa masama.
Thank you po. Okay na po. Salamat po. Thank you.
It should be a cooperation of all agencies, all the communities na nakadepende ang livelihood dito sa ating Tawilis.
Kayang pangalagaan to sa bawat kilos ng tao, no? So you don't have to, we shouldn't expect government to do everything. We can do things in our own backyard in the same way that we're trying to tread lightly on the earth here.
Tawilis taught me that when forces so strong change the world around us, all we can really do is to evolve.